Hello everybody. So I thought I would do a quick little video. I am looking to do some coloring tonight. It has been a very stressful day. So I thought, and I can't decide what I want to pick. I am a teacher and it is back to school season. I have spent the last 2 days getting ready for classes that start tomorrow, so I don't want to pick. So we're going to do coloring books, and I've created a spinning wheel with all of my coloring books. We'll see what it comes up with and if I want to do it. Okay, seasons. If I can, oh, that book happens to be out on my desk. Alright, so what do I want to do in seasons? Let's just take a quick look. I have something flagged. So, what is flagged? Ah, yes, this page is flagged. Let's see if I can get it all on the camera. This is the summary one with the bleeding hearts and some bugs. That's a definite option. I definitely am feeling summer right now. I am, let me zoom you out a little bit. Maybe. There we go. Might have to, well, we'll try that. So, I'm not really feeling a portrait. This one is a possibility. That's a double page. No, probably not. The snake is kind of a possibility. Not sure what I want to do with the snake, so let's see. I'm not feeling the bug. Giant florals. I may just go with the page that is highlighted, because that looks reasonable. I could do just a little bit of this. That's bite-sized. That is a definite option. Maybe just pick one thing, but then I don't know what to pick. No bugs, and we have autumn. So maybe we'll just go with this. Alright, now let's try again. Get the picker out and let's do colored pencils. What colored pencil set do I want to use? Okay, I can get that pencil set out. Alright. So that page with my Schpirer Farbens, and I'm just looking real quick. I have printed off some color charts to kind of help when I am feeling this way, but I'm not seeing anything I love for bleeding hearts, and I am not going to go hunting through anything, so I think we're just going to wing it. Alright. I do, however, need my swatch chart, because, yeah. Alright. Let's see, there's the... Alright. There's my swatch chart. And let's see. What color... I think maybe I'm just going to focus on the bleeding hearts tonight, because I only have a half an hour or so before I have to go pick up my husband from D&D. So something easy sounds like a good plan. So maybe we'll just start with the bleeding hearts. I'm kind of liking this There's No Place Like Home. That's a pretty good pinky red. And then, I might try some, let's see, 280. And then go for some super pale in this, if I can find it. Carnation might work. Alright. So those are the colors I picked. Let's sharpen them up. I absolutely adore bleeding hearts, and have a couple bushes planted around my house. The only downside is it's been, the weather's been so horrible. They are not looking so great right now. Alright. So, let's start with this biggest one. Make sure I am, yeah, this is where being left-handed is a little bit of a problem. Alright. We'll try moving the camera. There we go. Okay. I will do my best to keep my hand out of the frame, but like I said, left-handed, so there's only so much I can do. Alright. I'm trying to think, how do I want to do this? So today was all about problem solving, and I don't want to have to think about problem solving. So hence the using the pickers, the random pickers for picking things. By the time I get the classroom set up and get all of the various things done, and as I was leaving tonight, they were adding new students to my roster. So when I got home and got my stuff done, I did not get my chores done tonight, but you know, it'll wait. I spent the last 2.5 hours or so trying to get everything updated with new students. And you know, even over the summer, things change. I had one plan for class, for one of my classes, and then based on who my students are, I decided that wasn't the best plan. And administration, super supportive, but one problem. The textbook company changed their program. So now, tomorrow, I have to talk to the principal and make sure my plan to deal with everything is still good. I am sure it will be, but it is just another thing that has to be sorted out. And it is complicated and stressful. It's stressful for me. The This time of year is stressful for all the teachers. There's nothing like trying to get everything figured out before the kids come back tomorrow. And you never want to not be ready. You don't want to, like, I have systems set up so that the kids have names on folders, and so they always know where their work is. And yes, I teach high school, but still, it helps me and it helps them, and it helps teach them responsibility. Your work is in your folder. If you lose your work, you need to ask for another copy. It's not my job to look after your papers. But, you know, when the rosters change umpteen times, and I didn't even do anything fancy for names on folders today. I just ended up using tabs, and I have to make sure I have tabs here to take into work because I ran out of tabs. I'll use my label maker probably next week and make them more formal, but that's just another hassle. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. I teach science and math, so science, most of my science classes are doing STEM activities tomorrow. I find that to be the best way to start this school year off. You know, high school kids, they come in, their first day of school is usually classroom expectations and syllabi and icebreakers, and I hated icebreakers as a kid. Was never my thing, and I know most of my kids are not a huge fan of them. One, it's a small school, so they've grown up with each other for the most part. And if they haven't, then that means, you know, they're new to the district, and making them do icebreakers is just not nice, so, in my opinion anyway. So I prefer to just jump in and do some sort of a STEM activity. It's fun, it gets them up and moving, it gets them doing something, and it just works out for everybody that way. And I don't have Google Classroom set up yet. I don't have all that stuff done. So I do have my syllabus printed out. So, I mean, I could do that, but it's just so boring. So I'm not going to do it. Long story short. So, my biology class, my chemistry class, my physical science class, we'll all do STEM activities, and then human anatomy, I'm going to do actually. So they have to get up and move around and express an opinion and, you know, use scientific language to discuss their opinion, which is good for them. So I like doing that one. It will be interesting to see how they do with it. Every year it's a little different. So it's always interesting to see how the kids respond. And then my forensic science class, they will probably least enjoy their activities. They're going to do brain teasers. I have some forensic science brain teasers, and that's what I'm going to do with them. And we'll see how that works for them. I start with brain teasers because forensic science, you know, one of the first things we learn about and talk about is reasoning. And to be a good observer, you have to practice and you have to use your reasoning skills. So then we practice. We do a lot of puzzles, brain teasers, lots of different things like that where they can practice what they're doing. And then we will go on to then start playing games like Clue and building those skills. Gives them a lot of practice at that. Some of them enjoy it. Some of that they tend to hate the puzzles because that really requires them to use problem solving and deductive reasoning. And my experience is most high school students are not so good at deductive reasoning. So that requires more patience and more logic and critical thinking. And it's just not something that my high school kids tend to excel at. So they find it a bit of a challenge. And I need to get into the habit of having that be a regular activity so that they can work on that skill throughout the year. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it is, I know last year's group of students really struggled with the activities and having to use their critical thinking skills. And, you know, that's one of the things we work on. It's a great science concept that I think is underrated. Science teaches you critical thinking and logic. So, I mean, it should if you're doing it right. So you should be able to take what you've learned in science and apply it. I know a lot of people don't, but that's what you should be able to do. So we spend a lot of time trying to solve case files and doing different activities where they get to think about what they're learning and the real world applications. And, you know, solving crime in forensic science is not CSI, and there's a lot of legwork and different skills involved that they don't necessarily think of when they're like, oh, hey, I want to do this for a job. It's not always that easy. So, but it is what it is. And then my math class, really, we're not going to start anything until Monday. It's a senior math class. And like I said, I need to talk to the principal and make sure he's okay with what my theory of doing is, and can we do it, because what I had in plan A and plan B are not working, and I'm not sure he's gonna get so sick of me. He's new to the district, and yeah, I've been in his office a lot this week. And the week's only been 2 days long so far. So, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'm not planning on starting that class until Monday. One, it gives anybody who wants to opt out of the class a chance to do it before I get started. And that's just to my benefit and their benefit. So, tomorrow, I don't know, we'll probably, they're going to get a presentation from the principal. And I mean, these kids have had me for 3 years now. So this is their 3rd year with me. So they know me and they know my expectations. So I don't have to sit here and belabor that. There's a couple newer kids that don't know me, so they'll have a bit of a learning curve, but generally speaking, I'm pretty easygoing and get along with the kids pretty well, which is always a bonus. So we will do that. We'll probably spend some time talking about what they did for the summer, and how they think the senior year is going to go. I'm also one of the senior class sponsors, so building relationships and SEL is always a good thing to pull in. So that's always a good thing, and you know, we will go from there and see what they want to do. We may pull out games. I may just let them have the 2 days as a decompressed time, since they're going to be doing all the serious stuff in all the other classes. With that group, it'll kind of depend what they want to do and how they're going to behave, and if they're going to drive me crazy or not. They are high school students. They do have the ability to drive you absolutely crazy before you know what hit you. So, but I am hopeful. They are seniors this year, that they are going to behave like most of my other seniors over the years have behaved. And they're going to show some maturity, and we're going to get along just fine. So that is what I hope is going to happen. We will see what happens. Well, that's what I'm going to hope for. And then I am facilitating a geometry class, which translates to I don't have to do a whole lot, but be a human in the room. Supposedly it will give me an extra prep-ish. I don't know about that. But we'll see. So that's, you know, another thing I got going. And you know, I'm not gonna, I can't stress over it. It is what it is. We are short a math teacher, and the middle school math teacher is teaching high school math. I am teaching high school math. I am also taking a college course. I need 2 more math classes and then pass the state test to be a licensed math teacher. I am conditionally licensed now. So I am certified to teach math, but I will be a full-fledged math teacher this time next year, hopefully. But I don't love geometry, so I am kind of looking forward to not being responsible to teach it. It's not my, I mean, I helped the kids with it last year because they didn't understand it with the person teaching last year. But, or some of them didn't. So, we'll see. But that is tomorrow's problem. I have lots of things to deal with tomorrow. I'll probably come home and be comatose. I should be cross-stitching right now, but yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I don't have the brain power for paying attention to the pattern. Coloring and kind of just coloring the way I want. Is it perfect? No. Am I going to worry about it? No. There's just something said for coloring right now. Yeah, it's not like it looks bad. It's not the best coloring ever, but you know. I do enjoy these colored pencils. They are one of my faves. For my birthday this year, I indulged myself and got some nice pencils. I got the, what are they? The Polychromos, and then I got Inktense. Inktense is a learning curve. I have not figured those out yet. I've only played with them on the start of one page, so it's not like I have spent any real time on them. I do enjoy the Polychromos a lot. I am not the biggest fan of Prisma. I tend to like a little bit firmer of a lead. I tend to be heavy-handed when coloring, and the Prismas are just a little too squishy. So I prefer something a little sturdier. So I like these. I like my Black Widows a lot. My Black Widows are probably one of my favorite pencils. And it's not that I don't use my Prismas, I just don't necessarily gravitate to them as much as I gravitate to the firmer pencils. But I like these. I honestly, I color with just about anything. Before adult coloring was a thing, I used to always travel with a kids coloring book because there was no such thing as adult coloring books back then, and crayons. And I always had 2 sets of crayons. I had one for me, and I always had to bring a second set because my nieces would always want to color when I came home to visit. And little kids are brutal on crayons, and so I always had to have a set just for them so that they didn't wreck my crayons. And I would forget my crayons sometimes, and then I would have to go out to Walmart and get myself another set of crayons. And sometimes I had to get them a set of crayons too, but I know my mom started just keeping crayons for the kids at the house. So when I would go visit, there would be crayons for the kids there. And then I would bring my own. So color pencils were always my jam even back then, but I'm not a big marker fan. I have some markers, but not my jam. I'll use them sometimes, but colored pencils are my favorite, and I like crayons. I still like crayons. I still have several boxes of crayons that are mine and not when nieces and nephews come to visit. So, although at this point I only have one niece that comes to visit that colors. The rest of them are not really into it anymore. So, but she'll color with me sometimes for a little bit when she's here, but even she's growing out of it now. She's moved on to, I mean, she's always crafted with me. I have pictures of this little girl at 3, 4, cross-stitching with me. She'd sit in my lap and hold on to the needle with me holding on to her hand and cross-stitch with me. I did a beautiful lighthouse picture for my father-in-law, and I have pictures of her every time she came to stay. She would sit in my lap and cross-stitch with me. She was very upset when she got too big to sit in my lap and stitch with me, and then I had to get her own little cross-stitch kits, and she doesn't have patience for that. So, okay, I don't know why the camera stopped. That was weird, but it's almost time for me to stop anyway. So, I am going to finish this heart, and then I am going to stop. And I don't think that's too bad of progress for an evening. And maybe, hopefully, my husband has D&D again tomorrow. And depending on how brain dead I am tomorrow, maybe I will come on and work on this page some more. I would really kind of like to make this a bit of a series. I like coloring. I find it very relaxing. And I have no problems just sitting here and chatting. I will probably eventually do lives, but right now I don't know what my schedule is going to be week to week. Life is chaos, especially this time of year and as a teacher, so I don't know. And I'm not going to stress over it, so for now I'll just record and I'll go from there. And when I get ready to do lives, plus I have to figure out equipment. Camera upside down is fine for now, but doing a live, I need to use a webcam or something else, I think. I don't know what I want to use, and I need to play with it. I've done lives before, but that was for cross stitch, and it was way easier. You just set up the webcam and talked, and then stitched while you talked. So that was easy. This, a little more difficult. Alright, I'm going to call that good. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment below about summer flowers or first day of school. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.